okay, how can we run differently than what the squad did, right? And also the establishment, they have the money, they have the power. So what the people or progressives, leftists, all we have is each other. All we have is other people. So how do we grow a groundswell of people power? So I want to ask you, because I want to target campaigns and talk to their volunteer managers and say, hey, the idea came from, if you're knocking on doors and you're canvassing, you're asking for something. You're always asking for money or you're asking for a vote. So what if you can knock on a door and say, hey, this I'm running for this office and I would like these things, but I want to ask you, what do you need help with? Do you need any help right now? Do you need to take out, heavy furniture that you have and you don't have a multiple amount of people, or maybe you're elderly, maybe your lawnmower just broke and you haven't been able to cut your lawn, so you just need somebody to help cut your lawn at least once until you get enough money to buy a lawnmower. I can't promise that we're going to continuously
Right.
servicing someone's lawn for the rest of their life, but if we can help out in any way, and they say, you know what, I'll take down your information, and yeah, I might need help. So then you can say, if I can help you in this small way, imagine how much more I can help you if I get into office.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that if you had your volunteers knocking on door with that strategy?
Okay, so first of all, I started our campaign was from the beginning. It was service-based campaign. All of our volunteers did community service throughout the entirety of my campaign. I'm actually in the process of writing a book on service-based campaigning. So actually, that's exactly what we did. I think it's an amazing thing. That's what allows not only, okay, and there's a lot of benefits to it when you get involved, when you create service-based campaigns. And by the way, I reached out to the only connection really that I have with Dr. West's campaign and said, I would love to talk to you guys about how to do this on a national level, like sort of nationalized, you know what I mean? What we did locally, because it was so good. And I will tell you, it does three things. Okay. There's three main things that I really gleaned from doing it this way, right? First of all, there's no better way to get to know your constituents, right? Like there's no better way to actually get to know the needs. And yeah, we would do things like on a micro level, like if somebody needed something in particular, yeah, sure. But I mean, also in general, it lets you know what people are wanting. We asked everybody, like, how can we help you? And they were shocked because that never happened before. But the other thing it does, besides let you get know your people, is it really allows for people to get interested in politics, not politics, but the process that otherwise weren't interested. We had a lot of people that came out and volunteered on our campaign because we did service that weren't otherwise political people. They weren't people that we got through Dem clubs or, so you're engaging people that weren't otherwise necessarily interested in politics, right? So that's the second. And then the third thing is, it's the only way to keep any momentum going, win or lose your campaign. And so this is sort of the premise of what we did. And I was actually going to say to you, like what you're talking about, I was going to say, if you take it even to the next level and have it also be like one of those things that can also be localized, because the best way to serve is local. Like for us, we did everything from cleaning parks, community gardens, serving cake once a month at the veterans nursing home, like just, different things to engage our volunteers. But it's
service above self.
So it was amazing.
You're already catching the vision, because that's exactly what we're doing, or what we're going to do. We're going to allow you can log in as yourself as a user, but then you can organize as a team. So in the case that you're talking about, and I would encourage people to get as local as possible. So let's say you had a Jen Perelman for Congress team, right? And that would be your team. And then you can have all your volunteers under your team. And then you can direct your constituents to go to mutualaidparty.org/team/Jen Perelman for Congress. So that'll be your page. And anybody can click there and literally send a ticket straight to your volunteers, and you can help them out back and forth. And it's just human nature that when someone does something for you, you're more likely to say, okay, you know what, I'll give them my vote. I'll give $2, $5, $6. So you're already catching the vision.
Yeah. Well, and again, I'll even do better than that. Like, yeah, it's nice to get people's vote. Like, that's kind of cool and all. But that is a very small part of the vision, which is why it's so important when you're out there building community with community, that the root of it can't be based on you being elected, right? The people that are elected are really best when they come from community. And so it's like, yeah, I get it. We're campaigning because we're wearing our t-shirts while we're doing what we're doing and we're serving. But the message is still the message, right? Like, the message is one of service. And yeah, so I totally agree. That's what we did in 20. That to me is the only way I really think a campaign should be run at any level, by the way. At any level.
One of the things that you touched on earlier that I think would be a powerful part of this initiative is that, let's say, you have to run a couple times before you win, or unfortunately you might not win at all, but you will have your list of volunteers, you would have your infrastructure, you have your team in place that you can pivot to make it a new team for your location. Or you might have identified a volunteer that you said, wow, you're very articulate, you're very charismatic, maybe you should run the next time and carry. So now you're seamlessly handing over your infrastructure to the next progressive, and they don't have to start from scratch. That's one of the problems that we've had many times, progressive starting from scratch. And not only that, but the progressive that ran before, they didn't want to help out the progressive.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Oh, we had that.
Oh, did I touch a nerve?
We literally had that. I mean, I was having to fight rumors that I was accepting money from George Soros, which is hilarious because if I had George Soros money, we would have had a lot more stuff, right? Like, if I had George Soros money, I would have had another commercial. I would have had a lot more mailers.
It's also very easy to tell who's supporting George Soros, because if you say anything negative about him, you'll see how quickly they jump to his defense. So,
but it was just fun. Like, so there are, we dealt with people spreading ridiculous rumors about me. But once you put it out there, it's people will grab on that, and it's just I'll
tell you one last thing, and then we could definitely move on. I had a meeting with a friend of mine that is part of a union, and to pitch them this idea, and she was very excited. So I'm going to meet with her again, and I'm hoping that she can create a team under her number. And then what that can do is potentially, when unions, locals go on strike, maybe, I know I was dying to find out, hey, where can I donate to help out with the strike fund? But they said, not yet, right? Yeah. And they said, hey, we'd rather you send food. But I said, okay, I'm thinking, I wonder if there could have been a better way to organize that. So now imagine if they had a team under the mutual aid party where they can put requests for what they needed specifically, whether it's food, whether it's whatever it could be, water, bottles of water, whatever they need. Maybe they're individual, they're going on strike, so they're only getting paid $500 a week, or maybe not at all. Maybe they need help with a phone bill or with food or whatever. Now under that team, they would be able to organize to help those people out specifically. So the possibilities are limitless, but thank you for letting me talk about it.
Oh no, that's the whole point. Like, that is the whole purpose of what we're doing. Like, that's the whole mission, what you just said. Like, that's why we do this. And I think it's important, and not enough people do that with campaigning. And you're kind of missing the point of it, because that's the only way to make it where you're truly grasping the idea that the answer is not strictly in electoral politics, but it's about using electoral politics to be able to propel your mission, right? Yeah. Whatever that is, and get it out there, use the platform, like however you use it, but it's not the person getting into that office that is going to solve all the ills of that community. It's that person using their voice to create community, to solve the ills of that community.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.